There we go, on record. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. Um, oh, I see. Okay. That's why it's over. Got it. Or I could talk about myself, to myself. There's an interesting. Why does everything have to be so deep? Like, really? I don't get that. Um, I don't get this blab thing either. I'm gonna try to make friends off this though, and hopefully I'll be successful. If not, I'll just talk to myself. I mean, that's okay. So I've got a record of myself, so that's cool. I'm down with that. Um, oh man, I see. Just join me for a friendly chat. People should be lining up. I think I'm the least intimidating person on Blab. I would say that. Yes. I would agree with that consensus. View all statements. Here we go. Number 7. Well, Darryl, I'm going to store this on my computer anyway, so I might as well start talking. Right now, I'm just trying to update the database. And for the first time ever, I'm downloading all the electronic statements of my credit cards, my PDFs, and onto my PC so I can keep a file of them. I haven't done that. I've never done that, actually. So that's the nice thing about electronic banking, is that you can just download, your electronic stuff, right? Electronic statements and that, instead of like scanning them, right? Get them in the mail and then you have to scan them, and that's just a headache. So I like that everything is becoming more more computerized. Yeah, that's the word for it. I do enjoy that. That's one of the benefits of this society of which I live in. I'll just keep talking to myself. So 7:18. There we go. 6. So I've also got to organize the iPhone. I've got a bunch of notes in iPhone, and I got to correct some of my notes and make life a little easier to live. Cost of everything is going up, so I've got to revise some of my notes and go through my cigarette tally and update that as well. I can't believe after 2 years of analysis, 727 days, I smoke an average of 21.3 cigarettes per day. And that's a big sample. Though I wonder if that sample is somewhat affected by the fact that I tried to quit so many times in those 2 years. And of course, during those times, I dropped in smokes. So it might not be a fair sample, but at the same time, I noticed, though, from month to month to month, it changes dramatically. It doesn't seem to be consistent. My smoking behavior, that is. So I'm not sure about that. God, it's such a unbelievably hard addiction to break. Oh my God. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So, keeping all my statements. I got to start looking at my webpage and adding on to that and telling my life story, because I'm no longer taking any days for granted now. It's kind of sad to say, but really don't know how long I'm going to live. The thing is, I can't decide whether that's a rational belief or an irrational belief. But I gotta work on my legacy here. It's the only thing I really have to offer the world at this point anyways. No, the good thing about being in a room by myself is that nobody can hear what I'm talking about unless they watch the replay. But if they watch a replay, that's okay, I guess. I wonder though, if we all got to know each other better, would we be more accepting of each other or less accepting? I don't know. And of course, some of us, we all have judgments, Oh, this guy has nothing in common with me, or this guy's on a different vibe than I am. This guy wouldn't understand my life because he's got a different life. We always make these judgments about people. And, actually, I'm more comfortable talking like this. A lot more comfortable talking like this because everything will be after the fact. If people watch this, they watch it. But it's far less intimidating than if I'm talking to them or I'm on Periscope, and I'm facing an audience. So, oh golly. I hate that atheist stuff, man. I hate it. Oh, it depresses the hell out of me. Is there life out there? I don't know. Will there be someone watching this? No, probably not. Well, let's see. No one's jumping in, so I can't have that many friends. 0418. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Hop in if you like, and we could chat about whatever you want to chat about. I was just talking to myself there for a while because there was nobody in the room. So I'm just doing some stuff on the computer here, but it's nothing too intensive. So unless you just want to listen to me talk, I guess. Oh, here we go. Bro. Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Did you catch me talking to myself?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Like the very end.
Right. I covered the whole spectrum of my life. So lots of fun for the replay viewers, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
Or not. I don't know. Oh man. So it's I think this is the first time I've met you, eh?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. April is different than April, eh?
Yeah, it's Avril. So
Avril. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know how to properly pronounce your name. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whereabouts?
Whereabouts do I live?
Yeah.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
I was going to say Canada, but I didn't know where in Canada.
Oh, did you pick up on my Canadian accent?
Just a little, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised people can do that even when I don't say A. You know,
There were certain words, and then suddenly it was like, oh, okay. It must be Canada. As soon as you started saying A at the end of the thing, I'm like, yeah, okay. He's Canadian.
Yeah, that always gives it away. Yeah, and then people joke with me and you say, "You're Canadian, eh?" And it's like, I don't know if they're making fun of me or if they're making fun of Canadians in general.
I don't know.
But that's okay, I guess. It's where I'm from, you know, so I don't know anything else.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's if I lived in Texas, I'd probably speak like a Texan, and
right.
if I lived in New York, I'd probably have that. What is that that really famous not Brooklyn accent, but it's New Jersey accent. Yeah.
Oh, New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to New Jersey.
New Jersey. I love New York and like New Jersey accents. They sound so fun, you know.
Yeah, it's very it's very distinctive.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And I mean, we don't have to we don't have too many accents in Canada. I mean, we have a few accents, but probably the most distinctive is the native accent. Because we have a lot of those, right?
Yeah.
But you guys do too. You're from the U.S.
I live in the U.S., but I was born in England.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
So how much time did you spend in England before you moved to the U.S.?
25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you I know there's a lot of accents in the UK, so I can't always tell them apart, but do you still retain some of your English accent?
Most of the time, I mean, it depends on who I'm talking to. So if I start talking to my parents, then it reverts back to more of what my voice my accent used to sound like when I lived with them. And then if I talk to like Americans, it Americanizes a little more than it would when I talk to my parents.
Yeah.
And the more you talk to more Americans, or the more you talk to a certain person, the more it changes.
So which part of the States are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
It's like, I think it's like the Midwest, yeah.
Midwest, so right in the middle of Tornado Valley there, right?
I'm trying to think. No, it's like my geography is not that great. You might have to Google it. It's over there somewhere. It's sort of not, it's not south, it's not east, but it's like mid-east sort of ish, Midwest sort of. I don't know. I can't describe where it is.
I heard a little bit of English from you just now.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been here. I've been here for almost 7 years.
Oh, okay.
So I spent 25 years in the UK, and then I came over here when I was 26.
Why the drastic move?
I got married.
Oh, okay, that'll do it.
Yeah, to an American.
Yep. Yeah, my best friend moved to Italy.
Ah.
Couldn't find a girlfriend in Canada, but he found one like traveling across Europe and Asia and that.
Oh, okay. So he moved to be with her?
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
The girl always wins in the end. All right, done.
So what time is it over there?
I'm on Mountain Time, so it is 11:05 p.m. and my wife is upstairs watching Harry Potter, of which I don't really have too much of an interest.
I love Harry Potter. I every time it would come on the TV, I would just watch like every series or every whatever it was that was on. So I'd sit there and I'd watch the next one and then the next one, and from when he was really little to the last one.
Yeah, it's quite a collection of movies, isn't it? It's like 8 movies, I think.
Yeah.
I did watch all of the movies, and I even went to the last 2 movies with her in the theater, only because I love her. I wouldn't have gone of my own free will, like, or my own self-interest, but no, it was all right. I mean, I didn't hate it, you know.
Right.
So our taste sort of somewhat aligned, because we both like horror. We both like movies that's go on paranormal.
Yeah, I like those as well. And
we both like vampire stuff. Well, in the movies, anyways. I'm not like vampire or anything like that. But when it comes to the fantasy side, yeah, she digs the Harry Potter stuff, and it's not my thing. But some movies in the paranormal get a little too cheesy for me.
I don't know. I haven't found I love horror movies, and I haven't really found one that really scares me, because most of them I'm just like, they have a pattern, and you know exactly what's gonna happen, and you know, like, someone's gonna jump out here, someone's gonna get stabbed, like, it's the same thing. They need to make something more scary that you don't know what's gonna happen, that will make people jump, because I can watch like The Omen, or I can watch like Paranormal Activity, or I can watch any, like, The Evil Dead, for example, and I know exactly what's gonna happen, and it's just like, oh, he's gonna pop out there. Okay, it's not. Why am I not scared? It's not fun anymore to be not scared. They haven't really made one that's really scary yet that I've found.
Yeah, because I think there is a pre-established scheme or pattern behind all horror movies.
Right.
Like, I know part of that pattern is isolation, right? You have to have a likable character,
right?
And you have to isolate those characters in such a way that they're cut off from any help or assistance.
And
then once you have them isolated, then you can unleash the evil onto them. So yeah, it's Paranormal Activity was the first movie was really good, because it was completely different in the style. like this, the same kind of style as like the Blair Witch, where the actor is actually the producer of it, the videographer of it.
Yeah.
So it makes it more home video like, and it seems more realistic in that sense, but
right.
It's that style is really overdone, and yeah. So I mean, the other Paranormal Activities are very similar to the very first one, except for this long drawn out story plot that they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I have a hard time finding a movie that scares me too.
Well, the last Paranormal was kind of I think it was the I can't remember what it was called, but it was linked to the first one. So like right at the end, it was, if you've seen all the last Paranormal Activity, they kind of linked it to the first one where he was running through all the doors and stuff, and then he saw the girl from the first one that got possessed. I can't remember her name.
Right, yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, help! I need help." And she started screaming, and I'm like, "It's the same thing. It's just over again in a different scenario."
So what you really have is sort of this evil curse that runs through this generation of like relatives,
right?
And they're all like connected in some way,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think for a good horror movie that would scare me is something that's something where I can see it being very possible, like something that could happen,
Right. Yeah.
So like I'm attracted to horror movies about serial killers because I know they're actually out there in real life.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
So that's something that's not too detached from reality, but
yeah.
I think in some ways they're really poorly portrayed. They're usually portrayed as being somewhat brilliant, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But really, out of all the documentaries I've seen, serial killers tend to be very disorganized in their thinking, and they tend to be impulsive and have a lot of issues for sure.
I'm trying to think. There was one movie about a serial killer, but I can't remember what it was.
What was the general plot of it?
Him killing a lot of people. I can't. I'm trying to think. No, he's like, there would be a new person killed, and they couldn't find who he. They didn't know who he was, but every there would seem to be a pattern that every time someone was killed, they were killed in the same way.
Oh, okay.
I can't. What is it? It's not. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's gonna annoy me.
Yeah, that's very. That's.
Let me have a look. Sorry, that's my tablet.
I'm very interested in forensic sciences, eh?
Serial killer movie. I'm just gonna see if this is in my list because. Okay, so Oh, I was right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, that was based off Ed Gein.
Yeah, I was like that was a serial because I wrote in serial killer movies in Google, and it came up with Seven, Psycho. So and I was like, let me keep going, Silence of the Lambs, and I wanted to have a look, and then it, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre popped up and Saw, and I'm like, it was, that was the first thing that popped into my head was Texas Chainsaw, but I had to double check just to because I was doubting myself, and I was like,
Yeah.
hold up, let me check.
Do you know who Ed Gein was?
No.
He was the inspiration behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs and a couple other serial killer movies. Okay. And he had lived around, I think it was 1950s, and he had an obsessive relationship with his mother who passed away, and she was sort of the motivation behind his crimes, where he would lure strangers into his house and basically kill them and take trophies from their bodies and essentially he would like take the skin off their bodies and make lampshades out of them.
Oh God.
Soup bowls out of their skulls and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Why now? It's popped into my head. Why? As soon as you said soup bowls out of skulls, for some reason, I started thinking of that Human Centipede.
Oh, that was such
I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's disturbing. It's not. No. And then someone said, "Oh, I want to watch the second one." I was like, "Nope."
Yeah, you watch Human Centipede, and the only thing you're thinking is that's not right.
Yeah, exactly. And then they do a second one, and I'm like, why would you do the second one if the first one was just as bad? Like why would you make another one? And then I was just weird. I was watching it. I watched the first one. I kind of pulled myself to watch the first one. The second one, I think I watched, but I didn't want to watch. I was kind of trying to press the button to stop watching, but it was just the weirdest and most disturbing movie that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really disgusting concept, really.
Right. It's like, hey, I'm just going to, like take this part of you and I, like your intestine or whatever, and then I'm going to tie it into this other person's mouth. I'm like, it's like, really? So you got your ass to mouth kind of thing going along, and I'm like, this is just wrong. just wrong.
Yeah. It's, I mean, the person in the best position would have been definitely the front of the centipede for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think somebody would have had been messed up to come up with that idea in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know how someone just comes up and says, "Hey, I have an idea. Let's put people together and have their asses and mouths like stuck together with, sewn together with their intestines and all." It's like, what? I would, if I was like a producer or something, I would have turned to them and be like, "Excuse me, say that again. What? How? Where did that come from in your mind? I'm sorry. Are you on something? Like, are you high? Or like, what?" But it still got made, it still got aired, and people still watched it. And I'm like, why?
It all comes down to the pitch, I think,
It's like, I have a brilliant movie. You need to watch this. It's about.
And I have a hard time believing that, when they pitched that movie to their first financial backers, I have a hard time believing that that was the best pitch they heard that day.
There's a 3. What?
All these movie ideas, we're gonna bank this one.
Oh, hell no. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't watch that. Apparently there was a 3. I did not know that. Yeah, apparently.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Apparently, look.
Oh God.
I don't know. It's just I just put Human Centipede and it said Human Centipede 3, and I'm like, I'm sorry. What do you mean Human Centipede 3? I thought there was only 2. So I clicked on it. It said 2015, and I'm like, in some ways it's weird. In some ways I'm drawn to want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why am I telling myself I want to watch this? But
it's like driving by a horrific accident on the highway. You know, like you have that morbid curiosity. You want to see what happened to those people that are laying on the road. But another part of you realizes that if you see that, it'll probably traumatize you for the rest of your life, you know?
I call it rubbernecking. It's like, don't look. You don't need to look. It's not your place to look. So just carry on driving. Because I know some people, they'll drive and they'll just, you see them looking and they'll be like, oh, what's going on? You know? It's like, I'll drive and we'll drive and we'll just carry on. If we see something, it's like, oh, that's sad. Never mind.
Yeah, there's definitely something I don't need to know about. You know
what? Now I'm looking up the trailer for the Human Centipede 3. I don't know why. Now it's here. It's in front of me. I don't. Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna watch that. No, I might do later. I don't know. I don't know if I want to or I don't want to. It looks even weirder. Oh, I gotta have a look at this then. Oh dear.
Well, you obviously seen the first one, so
right.
So you know what you're up against. You know, I noticed that too. I don't get any bad dreams from any horror movies either, right?
Right. Okay. No. That's just wrong. What are they doing?
I have no.
Okay, hold up a second. Okay, here we go.
Prison has the highest violence rates, legal and medical costs than any other institution in the U.S. correctional system.
I don't know what is going on.
I think I have a solution. No more prison fights. No more assaults on guards.
I don't even know. This is it's still weird, but I don't know what's going on. Like,
medically accurate. I don't speak with a stupid friend about this food that
don't put those. No, don't put those.
violation of doing that. It's certainly a violation, Darryl. You insane freaks to get the death penalty. This is beyond relief. The drug should be beyond castration. The ultimate correction.
Oh, it's not right. Oh my God. Why? Ew. Yes, that's right. Exactly. It's 100% politically incorrect.
Like
Oh
Donald.
my, what the heck? I didn't understand what was going on, and I was like, no, please, bleh. No, that's just the weirdest. Definitely not going to watch that.
So what?
I just wanted to watch I wanted to watch the trailer.
So what do you what do you think of Donald Trump?
I don't really pay any attention to him, to be honest. I'm not very big in politics and things like that. So I mean, unless he says something or does something that really offends me, then I don't really pay any attention.
Oh, okay.
It's the same with Obama. I don't really pay any attention.
Right. Yeah, the world goes on.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, unless he does something, says something, and he does something wrong, then I'll have a say. But I mean, I haven't really heard anything that he's said lately, so I don't really keep tabs on what he does and what he says. So I don't like him, but
Yeah, I know the Canadian media likes to talk about him, eh? So we hear more about him than any other candidate in the U.S. We already had our election.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Justin Trudeau is our prime minister, but you probably never heard of him because this is Canada and we don't get mentioned much.
Yeah, I haven't been to Canada, so.
Yeah, I like it.
You lived there all your life?
Yeah. I was born in Kelowna, BC, and yeah, I've lived here my whole 42 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you never been out of Canada, like for vacation or anything?
One time I went to New York State.
Okay.
Just to do some shopping. But it was in just some small town that was just across the border. Because I heard that things were cheaper, but
I think someone said something similar to me the other day. That she lives in Canada. There was some girl that lived in Canada, and I said to her, "Have she been to the US?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna go to the US just so I can buy some makeup." And I'm like, "You can buy the same makeup in Canada. I mean, what's the difference? It's not unless you're coming over to the US to buy something that you can't get in Canada. Then what?" She's like, "Oh, I just want to buy some makeup," and I'm like, okay then. Aren't there makeup stores in Canada like most places?
Yeah, there is.
That have the same stuff as most places?
Yeah, like we've got Shoppers Drug Mart, and 1/3 of Shoppers Drug Mart is all makeup.
Right, but they would have the same brands and stuff as most other places in the US.
Oh yeah.
There might be a couple that are different, but I mean, the majority you would find, like I've seen a lot of the brands that are in the UK are in the US and in Australia, and they're all over the place. They're all the same. So it's like, why just go out of Canada just to get some makeup? I mean, you can get something completely different. You can't get that. I didn't fathom that. It made no sense to me, but I thought it was amusing.
Unless you're buying a lot of makeup, then you could save money on it.
Well, I thought Canadian money was cheaper
Yeah,
than the US dollar.
Depends how the dollar is bouncing. Speaking of which, do you ever shop on Amazon?
Yes.
Do you ever find that some items on Amazon are ridiculously overpriced?
Some of them, yeah.
Like you look at them in there and you think like there is no way it's worth that much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I look around, but I usually shop if it's too much and it's like a really high price, then I'll look for that same item from a different like a different buyer or a different seller, sorry.
Yeah.
And see if I can find it at a different price, because it's the same thing. It's just people and companies will sell them at different prices. So if you can find the lowest price and go with that one and read reviews and everything like that, then I usually do. But I don't have like Amazon Prime. It's you can have like I think you pay for a year and then you get free shipping for everything that's on Amazon Prime. It's like a yearly
You also get the lowest prices too, don't you?
I don't know.
Or is it just the free?
Amazon. I don't know. I think it's just free shipping. If it says Prime on it, like say for example, I would go on there and say I wanted to buy a pair of shoes, and
Right.
it says, it'll say like $10 or $20, plus $6, plus like $12 shipping, depending on where it's coming from. Say you're sending it from somewhere, like say $6 shipping, so it's going to be $26. I could either pay $26 or whatever it says with the normal standard Amazon, or I could pay $20 with Prime. So it depends on how much the shipping is. You can, because if it's free shipping, you don't have to pay the shipping fee. So if the shipping's like from China or if it's from somewhere else and it says Prime next to it, you don't pay the shipping.
Yeah, that's sweet. I saw a radio that you put in your shower.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it had Bluetooth. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, the seller was asking $7,000 for it.
Wow.
I kid you not. And then I've got a 3D camera that I paid a little over $100 from eBay, brand new, because
Right.
Sony was selling it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the same 3D camera on Amazon for nearly $600.
Wow.
And that just blew me away, because for $600 you could buy a much better 3D camera.
Right.
Yeah, so
nope, that one didn't work. I was trying to test something and it didn't work.
but I heard that some of the pricing model on Amazon is based on computer programs.
I don't know about that. I mean, it could be possible.
But I wish I could get I wish I could email some of the sellers and ask them, like, are you crazy?
Right. I think you can, if you buy something, you can, let me see. Product detail, item number. It says customer questions. You can write you can write questions, or you can review the product.
Right.
So if you found something and you'd already bought it or whatever, and you thought it was a high price, you could review it, and then you could write down, hey, this is not the price that people should be paying for. You found it, cheaper on a different site or anything. Like I usually shop around. So if I go on Amazon, and I find something, or like a phone case, for example, I'll look for the lowest price or the best price for that case if there's a lot of them. And if there's only one and it's a decent price, then I'll be like, okay, let me look on a different site and see if I can find it on a different site. And if there's a site that has wholesale kind of stuff where I can get more stuff for the same price that I'm getting the one item for, and it's the same thing, then I would rather buy more for less.
Yeah. Or
We,
write them and explain to them that for $7,000 I could buy a completely new shower and bathtub plus a radiator.
Right. I mean, like I found, for example, what was it? They're the same price, but I found the Hamilton Beach, what you call them? The coffee maker things. The Keurigs, but it's the Hamilton Beach version.
Oh, my wife was looking at those. Yeah.
Yeah. They're in Walmart, they're like $49.
Right.
And online for one, I think they're the same. They're like $49. But we found one that we got for Christmas from my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, and we got one that was two, that was the coffee maker and a sandwich maker both together for $55. So in theory, you buying the coffee maker for $27. So I'm getting two items for a little bit more than just buying the one for $49 plus shipping.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the same price as I would have bought it for one in the store. So if I could get two things on Amazon,
Yeah, and sometimes Amazon makes those suggestions, right, where you can buy like multiple items at a slightly discounted price, right?
Yeah, they add it on. It'll say you're liking this item plus this item equals like $90 or whatever, which is, if you had bought them separately, you would have spent more than $90, for example,
You know what drives me crazy is I ordered two items and they're both like free shipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, that's cool, whatever. And I looked at the free shipping and it would take a month for those things to come to my address, right?
Right.
But they didn't have any other shipping options.
They didn't.
No, and I would have totally paid an extra $20 to have it within the week or something,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm really excited about these two items, but I have to wait till the end of January before I get them.
Wow. That's why a lot of the time, like, you have to, with Amazon, you have to be careful you have to look to see where they're shipping from. So say, for example, you find a seller and they're shipping from somewhere in the US, and then you find another seller and they're shipping from a different country, and it's the same item.
Right.
Then the one shipping from the US is going to be the one that comes quickest. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait like a month or something if it says China or something like that. And I've made that mistake before, where I've ordered something and I didn't realize it was China, and I'm waiting for like a month for just this one item. Just for this one item that I paid like $5 for. And it's like, what is the point,
It's unbelievable how much stuff they make in China.
Yeah. It's either China or Hong Kong. I think most of them, like say for example, I wanted a phone case. That one phone case, I wouldn't get, especially if it's like Hong Kong or China, I wouldn't get for like a month. Whereas I could look for one that says, like San Diego, or I could look for one that says Maryland or whatever it is that's in the US, because I know that if it's in the US, it's going to be ground shipping. And that, ground shipping, like airmail is, or whatever it is quicker. But you can do it by ground if it's like not that far away.
Well, if something is shipped from China, I mean, it's going to be in the air at some point, right? Because there's an ocean between it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to come on a boat, is it? Because
I don't know.
That would like take forever.
I can just see it now.
I really hope not.
I can just see it now. Amazon boat,
Be like,
and it's like floating or floating along, and then it'll get to the port, and then it'll go onto get into a car, and then that car will drive all the way down to whatever it is. I was like, oh, where did this come from? China. It came off that boat.
it'd be like waiting for the Titanic to finally arrive. It's
Finally arrive. I don't think it arrived. It sank before it could arrive.
Yeah, that's true. But if it didn't sink, I think they were still looking at least 6 months.
I can't remember how it sank. I think it hit an iceberg.
Yeah, it hit an iceberg just off Newfoundland, I think it was.
And sank, but I didn't know how many people were on it, or don't they have those lifeboat things?
About 1,500 people were on the Titanic, roughly, and about 500 of them survived.
So the other they have more boat. They needed more boats.
Yeah,
they should have set more boats out and be like, hey, they need more of those floaty things.
Yeah, it was a really stupid logic behind it, because the logic was that it was the unsinkable vessel, because what it had was it was made up of separate compartments, and so if one compartment got busted with a hole, only that compartment would fill up with water, but the other compartment would still be empty, so it wouldn't fill up the whole ship.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's not what happened. I can't remember how it wrecked the ship, but the logic was the boat was unsinkable, and because it was unsinkable, they didn't need to put lifeboats there to occupy everybody, because it would never sink. But because there was a regulation that cruise liners had to have lifeboats, they put some lifeboats there.
Yeah, but they could have sent out for more,
Oh, for sure.
There's an easy way to do it. It's like when have you seen the movie, right? The Titanic movie. There's so many flaws with that movie. I was having a conversation on Blab I think it was a couple of days ago with someone about the Titanic movie, that there's so many things wrong with it. And we were saying to right at the end, when when Rosen, whatever his name, I can't remember his name, is supposed to die, and she's laying on that raft, and she's like, oh, I won't let go, and he's trying to hold on to him when she's floating on this thing. I'm like, that raft is big enough for 2 people. I mean, you can just bring him up, and there's so many positions you can just lay on there, and you could survive for a little while.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
scoot over.
Yeah, I think a lot of people noticed that discrepancy. But I think they were shooting for poetic justice, because I think they wanted her to reminisce about the lover that she once had. I think they wanted they found it more romantic that she found the perfect partner, but it didn't last that long, and he was like forever lost to the sea kind of thing, but yeah, I suspect there's a lot of things wrong with the movie. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got a lot done today. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll hold on. One, two, three, four, five. Whoops. Oh, it's hard to keep my phone up while I've got it plugged in. Oh, it's not so comfortable in the basement. Is Maybe I'll defrag my hard drive. No, I don't want to format. Okay, tools. %3 fragmented. Okay. Should I analyze first or just optimize? Optimize, I guess. She's gone. Well, that was a nice chat. I think I'm gonna close down my Blab.